TikToks popping and whatnot and whatnot. All right, so I've been meaning to do this video, and if this is your first time here, you got your host, me, Suge Avery. But if this is your first time here, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at OG_Suge Avery, right? All right, so we're here because we're talking about submission. I've been meaning to do this video for a while, and the reason why I didn't do it right away was because one, like I told you, this is sparingly for me right now, and then two, I wanted to figure out what it meant for me myself personally, right? And I wanted to figure that out. I didn't want to figure it out on camera. I didn't want to figure it out like I wanted to figure it out completely before I put it out there, right? Because I am single. I just feel like people will use this to learn you. And it's something I think that probably a lot of celebrities, have a problem with when they have a hard time meeting people organically. And that's not to say that I am a celebrity, but at the fact of the matter is, you can't um I can't not I can't be naive to the fact that this is actually the internet, and it's forever, right? So anyone can come across it, right? So with that being said, a lot of times people may not even let you know they're watching, and that and that can be I wouldn't say disheartening, but it's hard when someone is watching you and you don't know, and they're not letting you know, but you're interacting with them on a daily basis. Whereas if they would be upfront about the fact that they watch you, then you would have an idea about what may they know or may they not know, if that makes sense. And I think that's the same extent when it comes to dating, right? You go out on a date with somebody, and if this person has been a fan of yours, and like I said, I say this about Tamar and David, but if you go out with somebody and this person's been a fan of yours, they've been watching and they've been collecting, so it's hard to date somebody like that. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it's just really hard, because I think for me, when I sit here, Tamar talk about David and them dating in 18 months, and him being so perfect, and everything's always perfect in the beginning. I feel a lot of that has to do with the fact that you've been on TV for the past 10 years. And it may be longer than it really is. I think it may be 2014 or something like that. It's just been a really long time. So everything about you is so out there. It's just hard to date someone who's not famous. I don't even think sometimes in some cases that you can, because it's so hard to get that organic meat. Like I struggle with that. Okay? Like I struggle with that. I struggle with meeting people organically in here, because either it's a small city, or somebody feels like they know me, they heard about me from someone or someone, and this is like I don't even know the someone or that someone. It'd be like 5 people removed from the actual person, it'd be like weird shit. So I know if I'm going through, I can just imagine a celebrity, because it's like y'all are just getting little glimpse, little glimpse in, a reality show that was taped 4 months before it aired, or something crazy like that. So, but you get these hardline stances with some people where it's like a known fact for them, and they feel like they know you, right? So that's why I say I think it's hard. It's gonna be hard for Tamar and women like Tamar, and just people in general, to date, and that person knows you. All right, back to what we're here for. We're here to talk about submission. Oh my God. I did all that talking that wasn't about submission, because I struggle with this, and I struggle with this. And let me tell you, so if you don't know, Jeannie Ma is one of the co-hosts of the Real daytime television show. Let me tell you something. I actually was looking at clips for another video, and this show is missing Tamar, and I don't know if there could ever be occurring a reunion between y'all, or her come back to the show. But at the end of the day, out of everyone on this show, and I don't mean this to discredit any of the women that is on the show, but I think we know now. You guys have tried to change different parts of the show, and it always comes back to Tamar was the show. like, like the energy is just different, and it was just. I would have loved to see Tamar with Garcelle on the show. I just really think outside of adding Garcelle right now, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I was a fan of Amanda Seales. I just don't think it was the right place for her, because she's not gonna water it down. And when I want to listen to Amanda Seales, I'm not gonna want her to water it down. But the show's most definitely missing Tamar. Tamar. I don't care what nobody say. People try to get mad at the Tamar characters, or not the Tamar characters, but the Tamar type of personalities, and I can be bored. Like I can get there, like with Tamar with the slick shit that come out my mouth. But at the end of the day, without the Tamars, the shows be whack. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Like it has no personality. Everyone's so PC. Nobody wants to go there. There's a reason why Joe Budden, amongst those three, he pops in that because he's gonna go there. He's gonna take it there. There's a reason why Ebro in the morning he pops. He's gonna take it there because he surrounded himself with some. Um, uh, he surrounded himself. He's gonna pop. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Charlemagne. He's gonna pop in that scenario because DJ Envy he really doesn't commit to really strong opinions that often. Angela Yee on the show, she takes a more submissive role. So those personalities are needed. So that's why I say Tamar is most definitely needed. I'm dragging my feet again to talk about this submission shit. I am dragging my feet. How do I feel about the submission? Okay, so when I first heard that Jenny Ma had made comments about submission, I was just like, okay. So if you don't know, Jenny Ma, co-host of The Real, like I said, she went through a divorce like maybe 2 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Young Jeezy, the rapper in the picture, he has been like I feel like he's been her first boyfriend since her first real relationship since her divorce. I think that's a little concerning, but who am I? But this has been her first real relationship since the divorce, and they're already engaged and talking about getting married. Now, the reason why they're in the news is because Jenny Ma has came forward and came out in an interview when she was talking about looking forward to getting married. One of the things that she says that she did believe in was submission. And I hate that this conversation comes up. And let me tell you why I hate that this conversation comes up because I don't think this is a conversation you can have in public. I don't think this is a conversation that that involves the people who involve more than the people that is in I feel like that covenant, that bond, that agreement. Because it's not the same agreement across the board. I don't like that's just not even possible, right? So when I hear people want to talk about submission, one, I usually hear men who should not even be thinking about submission, right? Like you are in no position in life to even to take on a woman and take on a house or take on leadership because especially in 2020 you're asking women who come with being given tools to know that you could make it on your own if you wanted to, right? That's just a fact, and that's just go men and women. So women most definitely in 2020 feel empowered in knowing that, right? With that being said, to ask a woman who knows that she could be fine without you because she needs you, and I'm sorry, because she wants you is not because she needs you, right? And to understand that is to be like, okay, in 2020, yes, I believe in submission, right? But that's not to any and every one. And the right man has to talk about submission and not even to even like even sitting back. I don't see white people talking about submission. This is weird to me that it's such a power dynamic of control that happens between black people that this is such a big conversation that continues to keep happening. Hold on one second. I also feel like if a man is doing what he's supposed to, this is not even a conversation that even has to happen, right? I don't feel like our great grandparents sat down and had to talk about what submission is. I think that's a natural. I think as you date and you learn each other, his strengths and your strengths, it's a flow that you naturally fall into, right? And it's respect giving on both ends of a relationship. So to me, I hate the conversation. I think some for some relationships, head of the household could just look completely different across the board. You get what I'm saying? Head of the household could mean that he's the breadwinner, he goes home, she stays home and takes care of everything domestic. Um, and that's just what it is. When it comes to the decision of the family, when it comes to the kids, school, and all the other stuff, she raises and she makes decisions. She could be making all the decision in terms of kids and the daily operation. Now he could be in charge in the family in the sense of the budget and the money and major decisions and in the sense of major decisions like takes the lead on it, right? He's the one who he's the showrunner, basically. Yes, that's what I say. He's the showrunner because I don't think you can just make the decision on your own in a marriage or in a relationship. And we should only be talking about submission if we're talking about marriage. Like what are we talking about when you're talking about submission when it comes to boyfriends? Again, it's a that if you as a man doing what you're supposed to, it naturally happens. It naturally happens. Like, so that's why I feel like even in dating, there's no need to talk about it because if I'm interested in pleasing you and giving you what you want, that naturally happens if I want to be in this relationship. And boundaries and knowing what you will or will not accept, um, you know, either that person will adapt to understand or y'all come to an understanding or compromise that each other doesn't feel like they've compromised who they are. You know what I'm saying? So it just feels like, I hate the conversation. I promise you, I hate it. I feel like it keeps coming up. So this led to, so if you guys wanted to hear it, let me go ahead. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like I have to play it because I feel like at this point everyone has seen it. Um, One of the other good points that I felt like, so Jeannie Ma felt like, and I agree with her. When I first originally heard it, I heard it like as if though she was trying to tell black women how to keep a man and get a man and how to be about submission, right? That's how I heard it, right? Because you know how salacious headlines could be, and I had just read that first headline. I think I put a quick slick tweet out like, "Listen, I don't need Jeannie Ma addressing me about shit when it comes to these niggas, right?" That's what I was thinking. But then once she came back out and re-explained it, or maybe I took the time to actually really listen to what she was saying, I was just like, I totally agree with her. Like I'm totally the same way. And that's so funny because I then had this other conversation about on Instagram with a female and we were talking about it wasn't that we were talking, she had posted a meme. And let me see if I have the meme because I want to show you guys the meme. I low key hated the meme. I thought the meme was just it's so ugh. It's so ugh. It's so ill to me. Like let me hold on. I want to make sure you guys see this. Where is it? Okay, here we go. And she's a beautiful girl from my city. She's a singer. Hold on one second. And this is not, like I said, I'm not, please, you got to understand something about me. There's nothing ignorant about me. So if I bring something up or bring someone up into regards to conversation, please know they're just like, it's not to be shady or any of that or indirect. Because you can talk about something or a conversation without talking about a person, and don't let that go over. Please don't let that go over. I need for it not to go over, but I just want y'all to really see this. Sorry, y'all. I didn't know my Wi-Fi wasn't on, so I'm an eardrop. All right, here we go. All right, so as we wait for that, so submission, right? And so the conversation I was having on Instagram was about the concept. Oh, here we go.